Hotep Senu Hena Senut E.T. Aren E. Shakan Dugu Kemet. I hope you are doing well. This video is entitled Riparianites have been pseudo for at least 6 years. Let's listen up.
Right here, because it took in the video. But this particular video is 6 years old, y'all. 6 years old. And it's talking about the meaning of the place named Kemet. Now I want y'all to hear something. So let me see if I can find it. I think it's right here. I want y'all to hear me say something here. Right there. I think that's where it is. Now y'all can see the screen, right? It says Black Land question mark. And I want y'all to listen to what I say 6 years ago. Listen. Let me rewind a little bit more because I don't know where it starts at. Let's put it right to there. Okay. So I'm going to let it play from here a little bit. Y'all listen to this. All right. It's not talking about the color of the people's skin. And either. Wait, did y'all hear that? It's not talking about the toponym now. We're talking about toponyms. Okay. We're talking about toponyms. The glyphs you see on the screen right there are 4 toponyms, 2 variations each of Kemet and Desheret. These are places, okay? These are places. These are places. They're not people or nothing like that. So listen to what I'm saying right here. Listen closely. And when y'all listen to this, I'm gonna give some homework to y'all. In either case. So for those people who will translate Kemet as Black Land, now we have to just be mindful that it's okay to say that, but there has to be an understanding that the word black in that phrase, Black Land, doesn't mean literally the skin color of any people. It's used metaphorically for the idea of fertility, okay, via water. And this is why I said that it's important to be mindful of even particular cities in the nation of Kemet also being called Kemet, and those particular cities that were also called Kemet were in the Delta region, because in the Delta region is where a lot of the water was. It was more of the swampy areas, more of the areas that had an abundance of water. The further south you go on our maps, which would be going upstream in Kemet, the less water that you would see, the less. So did y'all hear what I said 6 years ago? I said that when people call Kemet Black Land, or the scholars translate it as Black Land, I literally said that it's okay as long as you keep in mind that black is not to be taken literally. It's metaphorically used for fertility by way of the water. And I even have on the screen. Let's read what I have on the screen. It says Black Land question mark. The use of the phrase Black Land for a meaning of Kemet is what? Fine. Let's rewind and repeat that again. Okay. The use of the phrase Black Land for a meaning of Kemet is fine, as long as it is understood that the word black in the phrase is used metaphorically for the idea of fertility via water, etc., to eliminate possible confusion, fertile land. End quote. Do y'all understand that 6 years ago, this is what I said? 5 years ago, I said the same thing. 4 years ago, I said the same thing. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 12 months, 10, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And right here tonight, I say the same thing. I have always been consistent, even prior to this video. I'm just taking you back to a video that we did where you can hear me say these things without a doubt. Okay, so here's the thing. The bad part is this is 6 years old, y'all. And here today, 6 years later, you have people creating phantom arguments about all of this stuff, insinuating, innuendoing, and implying that me or Sanjetti or Sara, whatever the case is, but I'm only going to speak for myself tonight, that I'm saying something that I'm not saying.
All right, you heard it from the horse's mouth. The translation of black for the I6 glyph chem is fine if you use the word black, but it needs to be understood that it's used metaphorically. MCs act like they don't know. We have the discussion. It's documented. And people talked about, well, the chem after a name doesn't have anything to do with the physical appearance or the skin color, blah, blah, blah. At some point, people will even argue that we don't have the word for man. As if between two languages, it works literally, the translation is literally word for word. Then even when we have attestation of the word came used with the man, seated man determinative, there are still some arguments. And we are told, well, we don't have the color determinative. Got in reference D3. You can't find it. Put it up. If you put it up, that ends the argument. NetAdept just did that. And they're talking about some challenge from 2018 or something like that. Some Mission Impossible challenge just yesterday. Just yesterday. Smash Rockwell has dealt with that. But they act like they don't know. It's okay. It's just documented. It's just documented. What is weird to me is that some people have been pseudos for years. But yet they have some loyal groupies, some loyal cheerleaders. And those groupies have the nerve to try to label other people as pseudos. And they follow people who teach this.
Allah, and this is where I would disagree with Brother Shaka, is actually in the Egyptian text.
Those Riparianite groupies and cheerleaders follow people who teach this.
The god Allah is an indigenous African god.
These Riparianites follow people who teach this.
Hebrews, saying come from and who they are specifically, because based upon my research, these are African people.
These Riparianite groupies and cheerleaders follow people who teach this.
This is how we know that the Hebrews, first of all, you got to understand that Hebrew is an African language.
These Riparianite groupies and cheerleaders follow people who teach this.
Then when you do a linguistic analysis, you understand that the Hebrew language is cognate with the Yoruba language.
These Riparianite groupies and cheerleaders follow people who teach this.
Fly in English is the same word, except we don't have the prefix sound in there, in the word fly. And so the word, the phoneme R is now L in English, and the P sound is F. In English, it's just simply the word. It's a very old word. It's all in Indo-European. Is in every African language.
These Riparianite cheerleaders and groupies follow people who make statements like this.
Not only that, but he hasn't done a reconstruction for Middle Egyptian.
I understand.
And I'm saying that is an incorrect and it is not a very good order of operations. So you're going to.
I don't see a reconstruction of Yoruba in your work or a con.
How would I reconstruct Yoruba and it's spoken right now? How does that make any sense to you?
Now, on their science fiction book, we don't have the water canal determinative. We have the Newt determinative. I heard somebody say it has to do with water, But those guys, they either forget what they say or they pretend to forget what they say. So that's Gardiner reference 049, if I'm not mistaken. And I read 2 different books stating that it deals with a crossroad, no mention of water whatsoever. But anyway, that's the new glyph that they have there, because they're going to try to, transform. They are transformers. So they will show you first the 2 different spelling, one with the new glyph, the other one with the water canal, and ultimately they might get away from the spelling with the new glyph. And if you look in the back of the science fiction book, right at the bottom, it says the current volume presents some of the ideas and considerations that aided in their position that Kemet means a riparian land, a pasturage with an abundance of grass and water, and not black land / soil or black people as proposed by previous scholars. Now, I like the euphemism previous scholars. So it's like with them saying, they have 10 people on their team, 10 people who agree with their claim. We're talking about the consensus of Egyptology. So their boat is sinking. Their boat is sinking. They are acting like it is not. Fine. We'll see the result. People talk about scholarship, minimizing PhDs. It's very basic, very narrow. Okay. But besides all those funny claims, you even have false qualification, being fraudulent, besides the plagiarism, which apparently is a way of life from some authors. They give themselves some credentials that they have not earned. So where is the integrity in this so-called conscious community? What about character? What about integrity? The same people who talk about integrity, stealing people's work, plagiarizing, are giving themselves some titles that they haven't earned, like this one here.
Alrighty, as mentioned before, I go by the name of Asar Imhotep. Some others may know me by Ifamuyiwa Fagbimi in terms of my Yoruba name. I am a historian and anthropological linguist.
Historian and anthropological linguist.
As you said, I am Asar Imhotep. I am first and foremost, I'm a computer software programmer and linguist and historian of ancient Egyptian and Bantu studies.
Linguist, historian of ancient Egyptian and Bantu or Proto-Bantu stories. You've heard it anyway, you can go back. And those Riparianites have the nerve to talk smack. Good. It is duly noted. Stay safe Stay healthy. And if I'm allowed to, by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you. Hotel.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Maat, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody is interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Nature classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in-depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Nature class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Maat Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Maat. Don't forget to share Kemet and Maat on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/maatforever.